Coming up on OC News, find out why a student opened fire at a Texas high school.
Plus, who could be benefiting from a new student debt forgiveness program?
And why one lucky Powerball winner might not be taking home the full price. This and more here on OC News.
This just in tech news. The first responder on
There's been a lot of collaborative efforts.
I feel blessed to be here in Fullerton.
Brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
OC News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to OC News. I'm Samantha Aguilar.
And I'm Jonathan Soto. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Earlier today, the Los Angeles City Council voted on an ordinance giving Los Angeles County one of the strictest vaccine mandates in the world. Under the new ordinance, those who are 12 or older must show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test prior to entering numerous facilities. Indoor bars, restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, museums, and salons are some of the places affected by today's ordinance. The City Council was originally set to vote last week, but the vote was pushed to today. After passing 11-2, the bill will land in Mayor Eric Garcetti's desk, who is expected to sign it. So far, 70% of Los Angeles County has been vaccinated. The bill goes into effect on November 4th.
144,000 gallons of crude oil leaked into the coast of Huntington Beach this Saturday. A 13-inch rupture released the oil from an offshore pipeline, setting off low-pressure alarms. Despite the alarm, federal investigators found that the oil rig operator, known as Amplify Energy, waited 3 hours before shutting down the pipelines. The company is facing proposed class action lawsuit, which was filed Monday. The company's CEO, Martin Wilshire, said in the press release, quote, "The pipeline has essentially been pulled like a bowstring," end quote. Emergency services deployed boats to conduct skimming operations, while today, 15,000 workers were deployed to help with beach cleanup after Gavin Newsom declared state of emergency on Monday night.
In response to the oil spill, Huntington Beach City Council held an emergency meeting Monday night. We joined reporter Philip Pejchinovich on the scene.
Huntington Beach City Council called for an emergency meeting to discuss actions that the city can take to address the miles-long oil spill sliding onto its shores.
So we're in this all together. I'm very grateful for their support, from all the support from the county, from the state, from the federal government.
Council members were briefed on the scale of the cleanup involving 14 boats conducting skimming operations and 320 individuals used to coordinate beach cleanup, but not before the public took the podium.
We must protect our marine ecosystem, our coastal communities, and our economic engine from the risky practice of offshore drilling.
It's a serves of the USA, and I'm well aware that we want to have the Olympics here in 2028, so we need to make sure that nothing like this can happen again within the next 7 years.
We are just waiting right now. We're trying to flood the zone and get more resources down here in the area.
Eventually, the council voted to declare a state of emergency for the city of Huntington Beach.
And you have to do it in order to, get other federal funds and county funds and all that. If you don't declare a disaster, who's going to listen to you?
So by declaring this declaration, this actually gives us the opportunity to access those funds. So that's the primary reason. But I think the second reason behind it really is to really let the community know that we take this extremely seriously. This is an all hands on deck movement.
Some of those that attended the meeting today expressed their concern for the environment. Senator Dave Min, who was here tonight, earlier tweeted that he would like to ban offshore drilling. Back to you at the studio.
Facebook co-founder Mark Zuckerberg could be in some hot water. On the heels of Monday's record-breaking Facebook outage, many are accusing Facebook of prioritizing profit over people.
Left alone, Facebook will continue to make choices that go against the common good.
Mark Zuckerberg fights back after the blistering testimony of his former employee Frances Haugen, who alleges the social media giant is knowingly hurting its users and the country. The Facebook CEO posting a 1,300-word response claiming, "At the heart of these accusations is this idea that we prioritize profit over safety and well-being. That's just not true." A top senator investigating Facebook says Zuckerberg should do his explaining to Congress.
If he has disagreements with Frances Haugen or the whistleblower, if he wants to explain these documents, thousands of them, his own research, his own reports that show how they are putting profits ahead of people, and endangering children, he should come tell it to our committee and to the American people himself.
Facebook described Hogan as a low-level employee who worked for the company for less than 2 years, had no direct reports, and never attended a decision point meeting with C-level executives. That prompting a response from a former senior Facebook employee. Well, I was there for over 6 years, had numerous direct reports, and led many decision meetings with C-level execs. And I find the perspective shared on the need for algorithmic regulation, research transparency, and independent oversight to be entirely valid for debate.
In the end, the buck stops with Mark. There is no one currently holding Mark accountable but himself.
Zuckerberg's response, a deflection. If we wanted to ignore research, why would we create an industry-leading research program to understand these important issues in the first place?
A shooting at an Arlington, Texas high school left 4 people injured and a suspect in police custody. The shooting occurred at Timberview High School after a fight broke out between a student and another person in class, according to police. The 18-year-old suspect, identified as Timothy George Simpkins, was taken into police custody just a couple miles from school. 3 of the shooting victims were taken to a nearby hospitals, where one was transferred to the intensive care unit and underwent surgery. The 2 other students were treated for their wounds and are expected to be released tonight. Students on campus were terrified, waiting to be reunited with their parents.
And we about to get started on our work. And then next door to our class, we heard gunshots, and I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So we all ran to the other side of the classroom. We heard glass breaking, and he continued to shoot. And I called my mom, and I told her I love her, and I hung up the phone because it was time for me to stop talking, And time had passed by, and I don't know, I just thought we were next. I thought my class was next.
When OC News returns, this major retailer is going to relieve your holiday financial stress.
Plus, it's Mental Health Week. Find out what Cal State Fullerton is doing to help its students and staff.
I have a question about
The Education Department announces major changes to student loan debt, but how will this affect students? CNN's Jen Sullivan has the story.
A major student debt forgiveness overhaul potentially benefiting more than 500,000 people.
Today is a good day for hundreds of thousands of people. They are going to get a fresh financial start.
The Education Department announcing changes to its public service loan forgiveness program. Under new actions, 550,000 borrowers working in government and nonprofit sectors, like first responders, nurses, and teachers, are eligible to have their student debt wiped out after they've made monthly payments for 10 years.
These are the teachers who teach our kids in the classroom. These are the people who take care of our sick relatives.
After calling for changes for years, advocates like the Student Borrower Protection Center are welcoming the announcement, saying the overhaul was long overdue.
This program has been broken. More than 9 out of every 10 borrowers have been rejected, and this has been going on for years.
The program, created by Congress in 2007, has been criticized for being difficult to navigate and riddled with problems, including confusion about eligibility requirements. According to the Education Department, just over 16,000 borrowers have ever received forgiveness under the program before this overhaul.
When there is a 90+% denial rate for a program, it's not borrowers who are making mistakes. It's not individual folks who are doing something wrong. It was a system that had failed them.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Right in time for the holidays, Target announces their new program, Buy Now, Pay Later, to their new shoppers. This comes after they collaborated with several financial companies, and it seems they are not the only ones doing this, as Amazon and Walmart will be following their steps.
As Orange County continues to open its communities, look for engaging ways to reconnect. OC News' Christian Davis gives us a closer look at all the fun.
September is going out this year with a march? The 64-year running Tustin Tiller Day Festival returned after 2 years of silence due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Residents were ready to hear music in the streets once again.
It's upbeat, very upbeat. A late summer doesn't go by without Tiller Days and having a great event like this. The whole community is involved and it's wonderful.
Bud Sepulveda, a long-standing local, manned the Tustin High School booth at the carnival grounds. T-shirts and signs marked the school's 100th anniversary within the community. For Bud, the parade has not only served as a pillar of the city, but as his childhood as well.
I think I came to the first one. It's called the Tustin Tillers because we're a farming community.
Others also shared in Bud's nostalgia for the decades-long festival.
For me, it's the nostalgia. I mean, I've been coming here since I was a little kid. It kind of tells me that fall started.
Honestly, it feels kind of surreal because this is my last Tiller Day parade. But it's really so much fun to see everyone and to represent the city and everything, yeah.
But what makes Tustin Tiller Day so appealing isn't just the fun and games. For most people here, it's the fact that the community is brought together after a year of being apart.
It was so difficult being in quarantine and not being able to see my teammates, so it's really nice to be able to kind of go back to something normal.
After a year of uncertainty, the traditions of this small community are bringing healing and connection back to this corner of Orange County. Christian Davis for OC News.
Have you checked up on your mental health recently? Well, this week is the perfect time to do it. Our reporter Kenya Staley spoke to students about the importance of having this conversation. Kenya?
Thank you, Jonathan and Samantha. I'm here in front of Titan Wellness Center where they're celebrating a Mental Health Awareness Week. The center is reminding students to not only maintain your physical health, but also your mental health. The Wellness Center offers counseling and psychological service in both group and individual settings. It also provides a crisis support line that's available to students 24/7. With the topic of mental health becoming a priority for people everywhere, Cal State Fullerton students are recognizing the correlation between physical activity and mental health.
It just kind of gives me some time to exhale and just to breathe, like after a stressful day. It's me time.
Jaylene Martinez and Avalon Andrews use hula hooping as a means to escape when times get too stressful. Brennan Woodard and Diana Herrera want students to know that recognizing what's going on with yourself is okay.
Your mental health will allow you to do the tasks you need to do in a day, and if you're not feeling right about it, you're not going to be doing anything right. So
you feel like, oh my God, am I crazy? Why am I feeling like this? And reality is it's more common than we think it is.
Ashley Covetto expressed the cultural importance of being transparent about your mental health.
I feel like it's a systemic issue, to be honest. We're not taught to be self-aware. They don't teach that in schools. A lot of cultures aren't self-aware, like in my household.
According to National Alliance on Mental Illness, millions of Americans face living with a mental illness each year.
Going to school is hard. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to seek help. It's okay to go to others when you're not okay.
Mental Health Awareness Week ends this Saturday, October 9th. However, the center is open all semester for any counseling needs that the students may have. This is Kenya Staley. Back to you at the studio.
Alexandra Suberneva is accused of causing the Fawn Fire that ravaged Northern California a couple weeks ago. Suberneva is being evaluated by psychiatrists to determine her mental state. The Fawn Fire started on September 22nd, burning over 8,500 acres, destroying 184 structures, and injuring 3 firefighters. The suspect was reportedly trying to boil water. She's also thought to have started another fire, and is charged with felony arson and forest lands. She's pleaded not guilty and has a hearing set for next Tuesday. When OC News returns, you won't believe who is making their comeback with a new album.
Plus, our weather has been a little crazy recently. Tune in to see what our forecast will look like when we return with OC News.
spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it, so do your part and stay home. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit social gatherings. If you need essential items like food and medicine, try using a delivery service. If you must leave your house for essential items, or if you want to take a walk for exercise, make sure to wear a cloth face covering. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Try not to touch frequently touched surfaces like light signals, street signs, or benches. And wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so stay home unless absolutely necessary. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Southern California has been having the most bipolar weather we've seen all year. Nylene Garcia has all the updates.
Thanks, guys. We've been having some really weird weather lately, and we even had a thunder and lightning storm in the Los Angeles region. Let's take a look.
5 degrees, Southern California, late afternoon. We're not going to hold
that there will be a delay in the game and that they should
Pacific 8:15 Eastern Time, but was delayed due to an unexpected thunder and lightning storm in the Los Angeles region. Even though SoFi Stadium has a roof, the open panels on both sides created a safety risk for all fans, staff, and players. Coaches and referees made sure the players were safe as they escorted them all back to their locker rooms. The game ended up starting around 5:50, which made the delay about 35 minutes long. And today we had a high of 77 degrees and a low of 65 tonight. But tomorrow it will still go down as it goes down to 71 and 69 tomorrow. Thank God it will start to finally feel like fall. But not for long, because you know how Southern California is. And it will go right back up to 73 and 80 degrees for the rest of this weekend. But hopefully we will have some fall weather coming up. That's it for me, guys. Back to you.
Get ready to sing your hearts out because Rolling in the Deep singer Adele is coming back with a new album this year, and fans could not be more excited. After years, Adele teased her new album titled Easy on Me to her millions of followers on Twitter. The album is set to release on October 15th. This will be Adele's 4th album and her first since 2015. Currently, there is no tour planned for the new album at this time.
For the 9th straight year, the Los Angeles Dodgers will be playing Oktober baseball, but this year it looks a tad different. After 8 straight years of winning the NL West, the Dodgers enter the playoffs as a wild card seed. Tonight, the Dodgers welcome the St. Louis Cardinals to Dodger Stadium in a win or a go-home game. If the Dodgers defeat the Cardinals, they will go on to play their arch rival, the San Francisco Giants. The winner of tonight's game begins their series against the Giants on Friday night.
One lucky person from California has managed to match all the lottery numbers, hitting the $7 million Powerball jackpot. Luck was in the air last night as thousands have tried their luck at a Powerball ticket in hopes to select the 6 winning numbers. Our California winner has hit one of the biggest prizes yet. This lottery win was listed as the 7th largest lottery win in Powerball history. However, the richest ticket of the night will be faced with a high tax rate, shaving off about $119 million, leaving with about $500 million after taxes. Even with a huge tax deduction, this is still a large amount of money that anyone may ever see in their lifetime.
A local Anaheim man changed his lifestyle around after finding out he had a life-altering condition. I spent some time with him to learn about his journey.
A year and a half ago, Jacob Sabeva was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He began going to the gym to focus on his health, but when the pandemic hit, he was isolated and made unhealthy choices.
I was 280, but then when Corona happened, I got furloughed from both my jobs, so I was just at home eating, watching TV, and I ballooned up to 319, almost my heaviest weight. My heaviest weight was 330.
Jacob was inactive and overweight as a child. Diabetes runs in his family and knew he was pre-diabetic.
The doctor's like, oh, Jacob, you're type 2 diabetic, your sugars are over 400. My A1C, which is what's used to measure how much sugar is attached to your blood cells. My A1C was 13, and the highest it can go on the scale is 14.
Last summer, his cousin introduced him to P3 Strength Camp, a gym in Fullerton. After his first gym session, he found it extremely hard and was ready to hang the towel.
And I've been here a year and 2 months already. And in that year and 2 months, I have lost 106 pounds. I am no longer a type 2 diabetic.
He is now eating more protein, lifting heavier weights, and doing more cardio. He went from never working out to now working out 6 times a week, all thanks to his willpower and his trainers at P3.
It's pretty amazing because he came in and he told me I have diabetes. Like I'm pretty much getting close to my deathbed, and I was like, bro, just eat right and work out consistently. Like, shut it down.
He's just a whole new person. The confidence that he's gained, just his personality.
I want to be healthy, and this gym is getting me to that point in my life. And so I don't ever see myself stopping.
I'm Jonathan Soto in Fullerton, reporting for OC News.
That's it for today's show. Thank you for watching.
Make sure to tune in next week, and you can keep up with us by checking out our YouTube channel.